Hello folks, this is Lulu speaking. You're listening to another video for Teamfight Tactics. Well, this is actually taken from a ranked game. I don't play a lot of ranked games, but I do slip them in from time to time. It's at Platinum MMR. And in this game, we're going to be taking a look at a team comp that I haven't really played before. I don't think I've had a chance to feature previously in any videos this set. And that has been looking at Lulu Reroll. Lulu, kind of an interesting unit. She was actually really strong for a little while on the public beta environment before the set released, but has not typically been that popular as kind of a carry target when the set's actually been out. But she's actually been a reasonably strong option if you get the right setup for her here in this particular patch. For the initial augment, we're going to get initial portal, we're going to get the augment 1, so you get additional gold when there is for each augment. This one does not have a huge effect on the game. It basically just gives everyone extra economy, accelerates the pace of the game a little bit. So I did not go into this game with the intention of playing anything in particular. You can see that Olaf is killing things right there, but I get the Lulu drop from the initial minion round. I was like, okay, Lulu, I had seen a post on TFT Reddit about someone talking about maybe using Lulu as a potential carry target, and I thought about playing that here. I am going to go ahead and pick up this Cassante. I figured this is a ranked game. I'm not going to fiddle around here. I'm not going to try to be like super selective in terms of picking my headliner. This is a solid one to pick. I always like the frontliner headliners, and so I'll just play this, and I can run this for a little while. The goal, if you're going to reroll Lulu, is you would really like to get up to about level 7, and then on level 7 you can look for a Lulu headliner in the shop there. So running Cassante for the pretty much for stage 2 and stage 3 should be perfectly appropriate here. And I'm gonna find some Lilias. That's nice. I can pair the Lilia with the Cassante. Now it's not gonna make Sentinel a tier of Sentinel because I already have Sentinel 2 from Cassante himself, but now if I find one more unit, maybe I can play Sentinel 4. When we were on the very long winter patch, the one that we were on for about 5 weeks or so, the Sentinel units were kind of overtuned in that patch, so it was very common for people to be playing like super duper heavy Sentinel front lines. That said, understandably, that got nerfed afterwards. So Sentinel has kind of been on the weaker end of frontline options ever since then. By the way, the old Razzle Dazzle, I actually did get a Lux from that minion round. If I had held the Lux instead of the Lulu, I could have looked to play a Dazzler setup here, but no. By the way, Twin Terror, also a possibility. Twin Terror is supposed to be quite good with Lulu. You can try to 3-star Lulu and just play 2 Lulus. So I thought about running that as well here, but I decided I would not go for it. Instead, I'm going to take the Training Dummy one, and this is the one where every time you get a Training Dummy, and if it's the first unit to die in combat, then you get you get an extra gold coin. So we're going to go ahead and make use of some of our items. I will go ahead and put the belt on Cassante. I will go ahead and put the tier on Lulu. And the goal is I'm going to try to make a blue buff on Lulu. It's a very good item on her. If I can get I'm also going to be looking to play into Superfans, and if I can get that, her Superfans item is a Spear of Shojin. So ideally what you try to have with her is you get a blue buff plus Spear of Shojin, and that causes her to cast her ability on every 2 auto attacks. I believe that her base mana cost is 40. Let me double check the cheat sheet on that. I'm just going to look up the Lulu real quick here. Yes, her mana cost is 40. A blue buff takes that down to 30. And then Spear of Shojin is you generate 15 mana per auto attack. So 40 down to 30, and then 15 plus 15. That's cast every 2 attacks. So with Lulu, you're just trying to get her to cast as quickly as possible because, well, let's just go ahead and cover her ability right now. This is a Lulu-focused ability. Traits are Hyperpop and Spellweaver. We'll talk more about Hyperpop in a little bit. Ability is called Taste Like Glitter. Fire a bolt towards the current target. Deals magic damage to the first enemy it passes through and magic damage to the second. So typically Lulu will hit the front line, and then her Glitter Lance will pass through and hit a backline target as well. Every third cast, stun the 3 nearest enemies for 1.25 seconds, deal magic damage instead. And it's really that third cast is what makes this work. The third cast deals additional damage, and it also causes her to hit 3 targets and polymorph them. It says stun, but it's her polymorph from normal League of Legends. There is the polymorph right there. So basically you want her to cast as much as possible so that you'll be getting that polymorph off over and over and over again. This also is great synergy with the Spellweaver trait. Spellweaver trait causes your Spellweaver units to gain additional ability power every single time they cast. And oh, look at this. This is perfect. We have an Echo here. Early Echo is great for this setup. That's going to make 4 Sentinel, and then when I level, I'll be able to put in Annie, and then that'll make Spellweaver trait as well. So 4 Sentinel, 1 Hyperpop, 3 Spellweavers. You can see I'm actually going to pre-level here, which is not something you do too often in here in set 10. However, it does make sense to do this here. I know I'm going to play the Annie on level up unless I can find another better Spellweaver. I'm 100% going to play this unit. It doesn't drop me below an income threshold. It takes me from 15 gold down to 11, so it makes no difference there. And it increases my shop odds for the next round. Again, I'm looking to play a lot of 3-cost units in this team composition. I'm looking to play Lulu. I'm also going to try to run a front line of Echo and Nico. Those are all 3 costs. So being higher odds is nice because it's going to allow me to hit some of those units. Also, Cassante, by the way, dies just before he's going to get his ult off. This was actually a really close fight. It might not look like it at the end, but if Cassante gets his ult off there, there's a decent chance that I actually win that fight. So that's a bit disappointing. But I end up losing to this player, GX Ludai, who has the Twitch with a Gnasher's Tooth and a Manamune, which is very unusual itemization for Twitch, but they did have a number of 2 stars, and their punk board seems to be working so far. Okay, so now it's going to be my chance to pick. I would very much like to get that tier off the carousel that's on the Seraphine. I could place Seraphine over Annie and get the blue buff I want. So, I did think about taking that. I guess it's been a while since I played that. I thought I took the Seraphine there, but no. Instead, I took the Lulu, with the logic being that if I'm going to try to 3-star Lulu, I just need to take as many Lulu copies as I can. So yeah, I guess I ended up taking that just so I could get the Lulu. And it works out anyway because I'm going to get the Annie from the... I'm going to get Annie 2-star, which would have been better than the Seraphine anyway. Yeah, I thought that I had taken the tier, so I'm still going to have to get another tier somewhere. Maybe I should have taken the tier there just because I want to make a blue buff. And since I've already gotten 1 tier to drop from the minion round, it's less likely I'll get another tier. That's the way that there's kind of an inbuilt normalization to the items in this game is if you've already seen a tier from a minion round, you are less likely to get another tier. You can still get one, it's not impossible, but the odds are lower. So the odds are that you will get a more even distribution of the item components. One thing that has been good is I have been getting the target dummy to die first in every single round, so that is giving me extra income. That 1 extra gold each round, it does add up over time. It's especially useful in the early game because you can hit the income thresholds a little bit more easily than you would otherwise. It's still a little bit disappointing that I lost that initial that round on 2-3. That was reasonably close. It certainly would have been nice to win that round. You can kind of see how this team comp wants to work, though, is you want to build a very strong front line. This is a team comp that has to emphasize front line a bit. And then they just kind of stall out the fight, and the goal is, over time, that Lulu's going to keep casting. The other Spellweavers are going to keep casting as well. Every time Spellweavers cast, they increase their ability power for the rest of the battle. I would like to get this up to 5 Spellweaver if possible, because 3 Spellweaver is you get 1 AP per cast, and then 5, it goes up to 2 AP per cast. Plus, there is flat ability power that Spellweavers get as well. The flat one is, let me look it up here. Right now, the flat is 3 Spellweaver is 20 ability power, and then plus 1 per cast. 5 Spellweavers is 35, and then plus 2 per cast. The plus 2 is the significant part there. This is not a team that can play into 7 Spellweavers unless you would get like a billion emblems from Tome of Traits or something. All right, here's another close fight. Looks like we're going to lose this one, but we get off a nice polymorph here. Can we finish this one off? And no, this country board is a little too strong. Country plus punk, a little bit odd. A little bit of an odd combination, but it is going to be enough to win that one. I think that if I had oh, by the way, the 2 people I lost to are the 2 people that are on full win streak. Hopefully they'll hit each other, and one of them will have to take a loss soon. I think that if I had Lulu 2-star, I would have won that, but I did not have Lulu 2-star. So just hoping I can find one more Lulu. An early 2-star Lulu would definitely help a lot because she's the unit I'm going to be itemizing. Now, as I mentioned, Lulu once, it's really nice if you can get a blue buff on her, and then if you can find her as the headliner. As I said, her Superfans item is Spear of Shojin. So, I mean, I guess you could technically do double Spear of Shojin, but that's not really that useful. You really want the blue plus Spear of Shojin. And then our last item can kind of be more open. You can do extra attack speed, like Gnasher's Tooth is not bad. You can do Death Cap for more damage. You can do Jeweled Gauntlet, so her abilities can critically strike. Generally speaking, the best third item on her, though, is seen as being Gunblade, and that's because then she can heal the front line. Because remember, this is a comp that really wants to have heavy front line, because if you can just keep healing the front line over and over and over again, that tends to be nice. Now, I am not going to do that in this game. I have the glove, I have the rod, I'm going to make the Jeweled Gauntlet. This is going to be suboptimal in the long run because it's not best in slot itemization for Lulu, but it's going to make her much stronger right now. It's going to give her additional ability power, and it will let her crit. Jeweled Gauntlet is never a terrible item on Spellweavers because they stack up ability power anyway from casting their ability. So what you want to do is amplify that ability power they're getting from their trait, and then Jeweled Gauntlet lets it do that by critting. So building Jeweled Gauntlet, never really a bad call there. And, if I've got the pieces perfectly set up like that, I'm going to go ahead and make use of them. I'm not going to hold out in the hopes that I can get a sword, because remember, I still need to take another tier off of a carousel to try to get blue buff anyway. Okay, so we're up against a country board here, and the Jeweled Gauntlet is definitely making a difference in this fight. It is definitely allowing Lulu to do some more significant damage. Look at that polymorph. She hits all 3 units, gets the 1.25 second stun. Very nice. And looks like we're going to be able to beat this country board. By the way, there seems to be 2 people playing country in this lobby. Cassante does die, but manages to tank long enough for Lulu to get the kill. By the way, Cassante did almost as much damage as Lulu in that fight, which is pretty funny. Now it's time for our second augment. It is a silver one. I'm looking at the different options here. And because I have a spellcasting comp, Cybernetic Uplink seems like the best choice here. So I'm going to be happy to go ahead and take that. Note that I get the extra gold payout because this is as I said, that's the portal that we have, the one that gives us the additional gold every time that we take an augment. So I will go ahead and level to 6 just because I have the money for it. Now, I would not have nearly as much income if it wasn't for the portal that we have, but this does mean I'm wealthier than normal in this game. Unfortunately, it means everyone else is wealthier than normal too. And we still have 2 teams that are win streaking. And wait, what? Wait, what? This person made 3-star Twitch. GX Judai just has hit 3-star Twitch on 3-2 in their Executioner's comp. I was like, okay, that person's going to be win streaking for ages. That's not good for the rest of the lobby. Yeah, they hit 3-star Twitch insanely fast, like stage 3 too. Remember, this is not a double up game. This is a single player game, so it's not like someone was sending them Twitch. I understood they got the headliner that gives you 3 copies of Twitch, but they found another 6 copies of Twitch. They actually rolled themselves all the way down to 0 gold to make that unit. So they basically did a very aggressive, very risky play there. As by the way, poor Lulu's going to get smashed to a pulp by Olaf there. Unfortunately, Olaf very strong in this patch. So they basically made a very risky play, which was to roll it all the way down to 0 gold, looking for 6 more Twitches. And for them, it worked out. And that's going to mean that they're going to be really strong. You can see there, they obviously somebody hit the other win streaking player who was on, there's someone else was on full win streak and they lost now. But that person's, I mean, like no one's going to beat the 3-star Twitch here on stage 3. That they've got a free win streak to at least stage 4 off of that. So they went for the high risk, high reward play and they hit. They easily could have rolled down to 0 and gotten stuck on like 7 Twitches. That's very possible to have that happen, but because they hit, they're going to be really strong and that's going to put them in a much better position going forward. My board is not that far away from being strong. What I really need is I need to get one more Lulu so I can get Lulu 2-star. And I would like to try to move into Lulu Superfan setup. Like the Cassante's been nice. I would say the Cassante's been a really good pickup for stage 2 and stage 3, but I am going to need to move out of Cassante a little bit down the road. He just doesn't fit this board. We don't want to play 4 Sentinels here. We really want to play the standard KDA Superfans board. That is with us relying on the front line of, Kennen and Nico for Guardians, and then the Lilia plus Echo for Sentinels. It's very solid for the mid game. It does tend to fall off in the late game, but it's what we want because we really want that Superfan item. All right, the good news is I was not punished for taking a Lulu off the last carousel. Remember, I chose to take Lulu over taking a tier on the previous carousel. This time, that I was not punished because I was still able to get that tier, and now Lulu's going to have a blue buff, which is going to be very, very nice here. So, like I said, I will happily go ahead and pick that up. I'll go ahead and make the blue buff. Great item on Lulu. It means she's going to cast way, way, way more often. And now I'm trying to figure out what I want to play. I was like, do I pick up this Blitzcrank and just play it for another Sentinel? But I was like, no, it costs a little bit too much econ. Let's just sit here. I could actually play 6 Sentinels here if I wanted to by playing the Blitzcrank and the Mordekaiser, but I'd have to take out too many more units. I guess what I could technically do is I could grab both of them. I could go to level 7, I could, and then I could just take out the Amumu, who's not doing much. Amumu's just giving emo trait to Annie. But honestly, I'm not on a big win streak. I'm only on a 1-match win streak. I knew that I had the potential to hit this player. This is the Twitch player. I knew that they were one of the potential opponents. I knew I would not win them. I knew I would not beat them. So there was no point in like trying to level here to maintain or go on a win streak when sooner or later I was going to hit this board and I was 100% going to lose to them. So I lose. I don't even scratch the Twitch, but I did kill most everything else. So that's not too bad. That was just going to happen. There's not much I can do about that. So it is what it is. I'm still in pretty solid position in this lobby. I haven't lost too much health. I do wish that I'd been able to go on more of a win streak. I have not really been able to go on a win streak or loss streak, but it's all right. I still think I'm in pretty good shape economically. We've made it to level 7 without losing too much health. Got a lot of the pieces in play. I have 2 out of 3 Lulus. So if I can find the headliner, I only need to find 4 more of the unit. And then I have an Echo. I have the Lilia, the Kennen. I need to find Nico. But I have most of the pieces that I want. I guess the one thing I'm missing is I do not have a what's the word I'm looking for? I don't have a Seraphine, because I do want to play Seraphine and I do want to play Ari on this board. Still, I have been getting that extra gold coin every single round, which is really nice. This is going to take me back up to 50 gold, even if I lose this round, which seems like a real possibility. Lulu's doing her thing. She's getting a lot of casts off, but she's not quite there yet. Again, she is still a 1-star unit, but I guess, do we have this? Can Cassante tank long enough? Annie, Lulu, you going to do your thing? There's the polymorph, and that's going to be enough. Annie and Lulu being the dual carries there. I will have to move out of Annie pretty soon. So overall, not bad. And there's a Seraphine, so now's the time to go ahead and sell, and now we'll start rolling here. And we're going to look for... There's a Spellweaver Seraphine. That's kind of interesting, but no, I am going to hold out for the Lulu headliner. I should be able to find it. And, oh, there it is. Okay. Well, that was pretty fast. And there's an Ari in the store, too. Whoa. Okay. Also found an Ari. Now, there is a problem here, and that is the fact that I have another Lulu on the board. And I need to buy that Ari. Past me, buy the Ari. Whew. Almost missed it there. Now, the problem is I did itemize the non-headliner Lulu. So the items are on the one that is not the headliner. But that's actually not terrible due to the way that the Hyperpop trait works, which I'll get into in a minute. So I'll put in the Nico. My biggest issue right now is frontline. By the way, I got double tiers, and I have the pieces for a Gnasher's Tooth. So just like that, Ari has almost perfect items as well. So, okay, I will just take this Ari that very conveniently dropped for me, and I'll make Gnasher's plus blue buff on her. I certainly am not going to complain about that. So now, just like that, we've got double 2-star Lulus, one with the blue buff and the Jeweled Gauntlet, one with the Spear of Shojin, and then we've also got the Ari with the blue buff and the Gnasher's Tooth. So I have like just about perfect items for my backliners here. Now I need to work on the front line, because my front line of 1-star Echo, 1-star Nico is definitely not good enough. Definitely not. All right, so because of that, because my frontline situation is pretty bad, I look at the different options here and I see, oh, Crown Guard. Gain a Crown Guard, your Crown Guard's shield at the start of combat. 75% more effective. That's a logical thing to take here. I might even be able to make more Crown Guards down the road, but I need to improve my front line, so let's do that. And now we're going to slow roll here on level 7 in the hopes of finding the missing Lulus, because we do want a 3-star Lulu. The good news is a lot of other people are re-rolling for 3 costs, but no one is re-rolling for Lulu. Like I said, I think there's 2 people that are playing Country. The person who is still win streaking and hasn't lost yet, the person with the 3-star Twitch, they're looking for Vex Amumu. And yeah, there's multiple people playing Country. That person's taking Mordekaisers out of the pool for their Pentakill board. So there's a lot of 3 costs coming out of the pool. So I think I have pretty good odds to hit the Lulu in this lobby here. Now, I mentioned before, why is it like not bad to have double Lulus on the board? Well, the reason why this is it gets back to the Hyperpop trait. This is a trait that I don't think has gotten too much attention throughout this set, but it is a very useful utility trait. I'll go ahead and read the official description. when Hyperpop champions use an ability, they grant mana and 4 seconds of attack speed to their 2 closest allies. So they give mana and attack speed to their allies when they use an ability. Hyperpop 1 is 5 mana, 10% attack speed. We have in Hyperpop 2, Hyperpop 2 is 10 mana, 20% attack speed. So remember how I said you want Lulu to cast as much as possible? By the way, there's another Lulu, so we're already on 8. That's pretty nice. But there's an Ari. I guess I decided I would roll under the 50 gold slightly here. So we have 2 out of 3 Aris. That's pretty fast. We're hitting this. Like I said, though, remember how I mentioned you want Lulu to just cast as much as possible? This is the reason why not only does her third cast get the polymorph off, which is the one that you really want. In addition to that, every time she casts, she gives attack speed and mana generation to her 2 closest allies. So that's pretty nice. Long term, I'm going to want these units to be over by Ari so that every time they cast, they're printing mana. It's a little bit like when Sona was a mana printer in set 3. We currently have the set 3 revival going on right now, so I'm kind of in that mode. I remember in that set, Sona would print mana for allies, which is kind of interesting. And that's kind of what we have here as well, is the Hyperpop units are mana printers. So, of course, at some point I want to find Ziggs as well. With Ziggs, I can actually get to Hyperpop 3. And by the way, there is a Ziggs on this carousel, which I definitely would have thought about taking, but that is not available for me to grab. So I can take more frontline here, or I can look to take another item for Ari. There is still a Rodent here, although some of that's getting snapped up right now. So out of these options here, I'm going to grab frontline. I'm going to grab the Cane. It sells for 5 gold. Takes a Cane out of the pool. I can make Gargoyle's Stone Plate for Echo, which is not a great item. Gargoyle's is like okay, but not tremendous. That said, it's probably the best I can do here. So let's go ahead, keep rolling. Keep rolling. There's another Seraphine. And there's a Ziggs. Oh my goodness. Okay. I want to get this Ziggs on the board really badly. So I really want to get the Ziggs in, and I want to get the Seraphine in. Seraphine would give me, what is it, another Spellweaver. Ziggs gives me the 3 Hyperpop, though. So unfortunately, there's just no way to get him on the board right now. I have to be level 8 before I can play this unit. And I don't want to roll below 40 gold. So again, still trying to take my time. That's me, past self, trying to highlight this. So like I said, if I can get one more Lulu, the 2 on the board will combine into Lulu 3-star, and then that'll free up a slot for the Ziggs. And then I can put the the Seraphine in on level put the Seraphine in on level 8. And that'll help as well. Another rank of KDA, another rank of Spellweaver. But yeah, you can see I'm just kind of crushing people here. I think part of that is because I hit the... it's not just that I have the double Lulus. I hit the Ari so easily as well, and had just amazing items for Ari drop out of thin air. So this is definitely a high roll performance. A huge portion of this is just because I've got the Ari. But still, you can see when this team comes together, you do get a tremendous amount of crowd control. And overall, the board is just, yeah, pretty nice. Okay, there's another Nico I can potentially grab. Still looking for that last Lulu, though. But again, we need to be patient. We don't need to rush this. There's plenty of time left in this game. I don't need to get aggressive. Looks like the Executioner player with Twitch did lose, but they're up to 6 Executioners now. That's not great. They also have the Executioner Augment as well. I don't remember the exact name, but it's the augment causes Executioner's ability to shred armor and magic resistance for every time they use an ability. It is a very good augment to get if you are playing an Executioner. And I'm actually up against them here. Let's see if what I have is strong enough to beat this player. Remember, they have 6 Executioners in now, which is very rare, almost never played, but you get a tremendous amount of critical strike chance and critical strike damage. Looks like that polymorph from Lulu is perfectly timed, though. Yeah, so the double polymorphs are really doing a lot of work in this fight. So it's going to be enough. We're going to win that round and keep our win streak going out to the full 6-round win streak. Also, somebody just died. There's, yeah, the little Sona animation. This is one of the new chibis in set 10, I think, the Sona ones. I find them to be really annoying. I'm not a big fan of the chibis. So we're just continuing to slow roll here. There's a Headliner Echo, but we can't play that. There's the Seraphine. Again, we'd like to get the Seraphine on the board if we can. So continuing to roll here. All right, 2-star Echo is pretty big. Echo is my itemized tank. So I would definitely like to get more tank items on the front line. Like I said, I have the vest. I guess I decided to hold the vest and decide if I was going to make Gargoyle's Stone Plate or not. If I get a lot of tank items, I can start to itemize Nico. And I do have 5 Nikos, by the way. I should be thinking about that. Or alternately, I can look to itemize backline units. And then I get like no tank items at all. I just get a bunch of damage items. I get swords everywhere, which is really not what I'm looking for here. So we'll keep rolling. Can we find the Lulu? I would really like to hit the Lulu here. All right, well, that works. I go ahead and hit the Lulu there, so now we can play the Ziggs. And now we have the 3 Hyperpop. So I was like, all right, what do I do with these items? Well, Steadfast Heart would be nice, but I don't think I can make that. I would love a Rod here. I would make Gunblade, but Gunblade is not an option. So I was like, okay. All right, what do we do here? We got double swords. We got to do something with these swords. It's not going to be Last Whisper, obviously, but I can do Giant Slayer, and then I can do Infinity Edge. Now, Infinity Edge might be kind of weird to put on Ziggs, but it does allow his damage to crit. It does allow his damage to crit, so there is that. So, is it a good item? I mean, it's okay. I wouldn't say it's great, but, you know, it's fine. It's fine. Here we're up against a 3-star Riven, but we're actually going to get the kill on the Riven, and then there's not a lot left after that. Also, nice polymorph on Kate, right, when she started to use her ability. I do make a mistake, though. There's an Echo in the store. I should definitely grab this Echo. There's no reason not to grab this. Remember how I said that there's a lot of 3 costs out of the pool? I really should be looking to play some of these 3 costs as well. And then I make this mistake, too. I sell the Nikos. I really don't have to do that. Like, there's really no particular reason why I need to start selling these. As I said, I think I had decent odds to 3-star these units, but instead I was looking to get to level 8 faster, and then my goal was, all right, I'm going to look to go to level 9, and then I'll play Sona, and Sona will make 5 Spellweavers. So that was my thought process, but I do think I could have held these 3 costs. Like I said, there were a lot of 3-cost units out of the pool, and I do think I could have gone for like 3-star Echo, 3-star Nico, because I would have been on 4 Echoes, 5 Nikos. Like that's, you know, that's reasonably close. And as I said, there's a lot of 3-stars out of the pool, so there was decent odds to do that. I think if I were to play this game over again, I think I would maybe just look to stay at level 8 and look to reroll for some of these, because like Seraphine's on my board, but like, is Seraphine really doing that much right now? I'm not sure Seraphine's actually doing that much. She gives me 4 Spellweaver, 4 KDA, which is like, okay, I mean, you know, that's nice and all, but it actually doesn't give me anything additional in terms of the traits. And like, yes, 5 Spellweaver is nice, but I think I probably needed more frontline than I needed more damage from the Spellweavers. But still, not bad, certainly. As I said, Seraphine is not a bad unit to play in this comp, but you can see the weakness of this comp is frontline, and that's something that I'm a bit lacking in, because 2-star Echo, 2-star Echo, 2-star Nico are very good for the mid game, but they will fall off in the late game. It's one of the reasons why you want to get the Gunblade, because the Gunblade will allow your backline units to be healing them constantly, and they kind of need that in the fight, so they die a little bit too fast. Still, for the moment, everything's working out fine. Look at that polymorph on the backline. We did a 1200 damage polymorph on the Samira. Oof, and she just got shredded in that fight. Yeah, Lulu carrying these fights super hard. 1200 damage polymorph on the Samira back there. She just didn't get to do anything. So I'm on a big win streak, and I'm looking pretty strong. This other person is win streaking, though, Silly, with a 4 Sentinel board. So I have to figure out what I want to do here. There is a Sona on the carousel. It's on the item that she has is not a particularly good item, but there is a Sona here on carousel that I could potentially look to take if I just want to play Sona for 5 Spellweavers. Instead, I'm looking at the other options here, and I'll go ahead and take the Static Shiv. This does mean that there's an emo emblem on carousel, and that's going to be picked up by the Twitch player, because that's going to allow them to get emo trait on another unit. But the Static Shiv is good. It's a good Ziggs item, and I actually do not have any magic resistant shred on my board. My entire comp is magic damage. I don't deal any physical damage at all. So having the Static Shiv for magic resist shred is actually pretty nice. And Ziggs applies it well. Ziggs wants attack speed, and he wants ability power. So the Giant Slayer plus Static Shiv plus Infinity Edge, he actually is going to hit relatively hard on his auto attacks, amusingly enough. But I obviously would prefer for him to have some more ability power, some more AP stuff. But it is what it is. You got to make do with the items that you have. Like this person here, they have triple crown guards on their Mordekaiser because they have the super crown guard as well. Still, can the front line hold up long enough to get these kills? If Riven didn't have the Quicksilver Sash, she would have no chance. But even with that, we still just do enough damage to punch right through the front line. And they're actually out of the lobby, despite making Riven 3-star. So we're just kind of cruising right now. I'm on the long win streak here. And like I said, I'm just going to try to get to level 9 and put Sona on my board. And that's the hope. I'm also going to grab the Lux because that does give me a rank of Dazzler trait. If I can't find Sona, then I'll play this for Dazzler so that Ziggs can apply Dazzler. Getting to level 9 also helps in terms of trying to find Ziggs 2-star. If I can find Ziggs 2-star, that'll also help a lot too, because he's kind of my other damaging unit. This is a board that actually does cap out reasonably well late game if you can hit everything, because, you know, it does play 2-star Ari, it plays 3-star Lulu, you can 2-star the Ziggs, and then if you can get Sona in, you can 2-star Sona as well. So, as I said, you are playing a decent number of 5 costs. The biggest weakness is frontline. Frontline's not great. All right, so here's one of the other boards that had been win streaking. This is a person playing an Ezreal board. Unfortunately, in this fight, the Zac keeps bouncing around and gets off a lot of crowd control, manages to kill the Lulu before she can get off too many casts. So that was just the crowd control. That person's crowd control bouncing around, hitting things. They're also on 7 Ezreals, so that's a problem as well. So they are very close to Ez 3-star. And yeah, if they hit, then that could just be an issue as well. By the way, there's another Nico here in the shop. Remember, I have not been grabbing Nikos, but could have potentially looked to go for a 3-star version of that unit as well. Anyway, so we are getting down to the nitty-gritty here. There's only just a couple of people left in this lobby. 2 people that are on minimal HP, and then the Executioner Twitch player that I've mentioned a couple times throughout this game because they had all that money. They're still on high health because they had that gigantic win streak from earlier. All right, so now we're going to go level 9. There's a Ziggs, very friendly. By the way, another Nico as well. So we'll put in the Lux for right now. Again, we're hoping to find Sona because Sona gives us 5 Spellweavers, but I haven't seen that yet. Could also grab these Ares as well, but it would cost Econ. There's a Lowy, but there's no way to get her on the board. And cool, Ziggs 2-star, very nice. I will 2-star the. By the way, there's Ari headliner, but I'd have to sell the Ari in order to, or I'd have to sell the Lulu to get that, and I'm not going to do that. So out of these items, I would have liked a frontline item. I didn't really see anything I liked that much though. So we'll just go ahead and take the guard breaker and put it on the Ari, so that we can get a 3rd item on her as well. But yeah, now I have 2-star Ziggs. I have 2-star Ari. Looking pretty nice. I have the Lux in, so Ziggs' ability now applies the Dazzler damage debuff. So this is a closer version of the fight. Can you get off one more Polymorph Lulu? We just need to finish off the Vex. There we go. There we go. Very, very nice. Closer fight, but I did manage to win this. One of these 2 players is going to be out of the lobby as well because, yeah, they both are on minimal health. So one of them is going to knock out the other one. I'm still hoping to find that Sona right now. By the way, I'm seeing all these Aries. Maybe I should have held Aries in this game. Probably didn't have enough econ to get Ari 3-star though. So again, still looking here. Still trying to find Sona. At this point, I was like, man, I kind of wish I had taken that Sona off Carousel, even if it was with a Hurricane, just because I would really liked, I really would have liked that. Unfortunately, if you're looking at that little pop-up headlight interface, that other person that I just beat in the last round unfortunately just hit 3-star Samira and 3-star Vex. So yeah, they had kind of rolled it down to almost nothing, but they did manage to hit those units. I'm actually not up against them though. I'm up against the Heartsteel player. And this is the person who is trying to grab Ezreals. They actually have 8 Ezreals right now, so I'm really hoping they don't hit the last Ezreal for Ez 3-star. Good news is it looks like they're going to get knocked out by the Executioner's board. So yeah, they were one off Ezreal 3-stars. Now it's down to just me and the Executioner player. So yeah, now the Ez's are back in the pool, but I don't need to hold Ezreal now. Now there's no need to hold Ezreal because, like, what would be the purpose of holding Ezreals now? That person got knocked out. Still can't find that Sona, unfortunately. That board is starting to look pretty strong, though. They have, what is it, 3-star Samira, 3-star Vex, 3-star Twitch, 3-star Amumu. I was like, starting to get a little more concerned. Let's actually move the targeting dummy up here. I'll move the rest of my frontliners up because I actually don't care about the income from the targeting dummy anymore. I don't think that that particularly matters at this stage of the game. We're pretty much just at the very end of the game. Note that they also put the emo emblem on Karthus. Karthus is a good unit to put this emo emblem on because Karthus is very high mana cost, so you want him to cast much more frequently. All right, so can we finish off the Karthus? Nice work, Lux, getting the Karthus out of the way. And there we go. We're actually going to go ahead and win that round too and knock them down to 23 HP. So we got another carousel here, and I'm looking at the different options on this carousel. So still trying to find something for a frontliner. I see there's an Alawi with an Ionic Spark. I'm going to go ahead and grab that, which I thought would be pretty good here because that way I can put it on Nico and we'll get that Ionic Spark Magic Resist Shred on the front lines too. All right, so we're going to go ahead and roll here. Roll here. There's another Ziggs, but that's not going to help me. And there's a Sona. Okay, so we'll go ahead and put Sona on the board, and that's going to go ahead and give me the 5 Spellweavers. I also have the ability, so I can grant attack speed or I can grant AP and damage. I don't think that the AP is really necessary here, though. The healing and shielding has been a bad option ever since it got nerfed on the PvE. So go ahead and put Sona here. Now, unfortunately, Sona is unitemized, so it's going to be hard for her to get her cast off. And in retrospect, now when I go back and look at this game, I do wonder maybe if I should have played the Lux instead, because the Dazzler debuff was actually doing a lot of work, and I'm not sure that Sona really did that much for my board. So like looking at this fight, I actually end up losing this time, and it actually went much worse than the last round. In fact, I'm actually going to skip ahead here a little bit, and what you're going to see is, what's this? Apparently nothing, because the footage was blacked out there for a second. I'm not sure exactly what happened there. But in any case, yeah, I'm going to skip ahead here. I went round after round after round there, and it turned out that I couldn't beat this board. And I don't know if that's because I substituted in the... I don't know if that's because I substituted in the Sona for the Lux, and that was just a mistake, and I probably shouldn't have done that. By the way, on the minion round, this person ended up getting a death cap for their Karthus. So yeah, Karthus ended up having Gunblade plus death cap plus emo emblem in a 6 executioners board. And despite my best efforts, I was just unable to win this one. So in the end, this one did not work out quite the way that I was hoping. And it did end up turning into a 2nd place finish, which was, yeah, not great. I think that things I could have done different, as I was saying throughout the game, maybe I could have tried to grab more of those 3-cost units if I had 3-starred, like the Echo and the Nico. I think the front line would have held up long enough for the Spellweavers to do their thing. As I said, ultimately, maybe playing Dazzler would have actually been better, because the damage debuff from Dazzler and Lux being able to hit the back line with her ult actually might have made a difference. But in the end, that person just hit so many 3-stars. Like I said, Amumu, Samira, Vex, Pantheon, Twitch. They also 2-starred Poppy, Akali, Karthus. Like, their board was just really, really strong. And they would have gotten knocked out in the late game, but because they won like the first 15 rounds of the game, they had enough health preserve that they were able to hit all their stuff, and they just outscaled me in the end. Still, nonetheless, this is a 2nd place finish in a ranked game, so I was pretty happy with this, and I wanted to get the chance to showcase this Lulu board, so I hope it was still entertaining to watch. In any case, thanks for watching, thanks for listening, hope everybody's having a great week. Until next time, take care, folks, and I'll see you again soon.